Ooh, live. Whoever just got in here at the very, very beginning, you got that little piece of that ooh, 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 ooh. And those of y'all that are watching the replay, because they don't know that I'm doing this right now. And y'all can't even see me. What up? Um, Hi, welcome back to my world. Um, I haven't done this in a really, really, really long time. So I'm a little rusty. And it's always interesting because I actually have done this because I have two podcasts that I've been doing, but it's different when it's this space. It's like a certain the background makes it a different vibe. I don't know. But anyway, hey, welcome to Mind of My Black Ass Business. My name is Kimberland. Kim tonight. This is a family meeting. So while you all get in, get settled, and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to share on my pages to make sure that people are getting the link that I want to get the link. I honestly don't know if I'm going to keep this available to the public. Um, if you did not directly get the link, I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm not sure. It depends on what direction it might go. But all right, there I am. Boom. Cool. All right. So in a moment, my cousin is gonna join me. In the spirit of this being a family meeting, I was like, well, let me have my family on here with me, right? So I'm gonna pull her up in just a second, and I'm just trying to make sure that things, my phone is being weird. So hopefully I'm live. Hold on, y'all. Let me check and make sure. I just want to make sure I'm in all the places because I'm gonna only say this one good time. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I wonder what's going on. Let me grab my cousin right quick so she can get in here. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Did
Hey.
you do a costume
I
change?
could have, but I did not. I did add a little topper to my lipstick, though. That might be
Okay. I'm like, I
the
don't
new
feel like this what you just had on a few moments ago.
vibe.
No worries. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that we are live on things. Okay, I've checked YouTube, checked Facebook. All right, cool.
There you go. You got
Excuse me, y'all. So, if you haven't like been following and you're kind of like coming back to this world and stuff, I had the COVID. So I am recuperating. I actually feel like a person. Kalanda, oh my God. Today, girl, I was out the house by like 8:30
oh,
a.m. Okay. And went and took a walk and got some coffee and what else did I buy? Oh, a pastry with guava. Girl, it was so good.
ooh.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
fancy pants. You was doing the things.
Baby, let me tell you something. That thing was so buttery
You
and
could taste it.
so oh, it was delicious. Just think of the best croissant that you've ever had. And then like add some extra butter to it with some sweetness. I don't know if you know what like guava and guava candy tastes like. You ever had it before?
Hmm. But I haven't had the butter, the guava butter that you're.
Oh God, it was just beautiful. So anyway, so I think that's one of my new favorite things to do.
Oh,
But I did that and I went and got some eucalyptus for my shower and
uh-huh.
then I walked back home. I had done all of that by 9 a.m.
Look at you.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about how proud I was of myself. Then the housekeeper came, right? And I was explaining to her because we had to move the date all around because Panama and all of that, and then I had the COVID, right? So all the things.
Yeah.
So I'm like explaining to her for I swear like 30 minutes in Spanish.
Look at you. Self.
Kalanda. And that's what I kept saying to myself. I've been teaching myself Spanish. Like, imagine if I was actually going to school to learn the Spanish. I've been out here on Duolingo faithful, okay, every day, 500 and something day streak.
Oops.
All right. Like,
All right,
listen, I'm out here. Okay. Girl, I was so proud of myself. Um, but I brought all of that up because I'm feeling like a person again after having COVID. So being able to walk, I live on a hill, so like you have to walk down, and that's the easy part, of course, right? But
getting
then
home,
you
you
got to
gotta
walk back up.
gotta get. It's a
You be
struggle.
making them big strides. So like, it make it like kind of
So
like you're like doing a
momentum.
little lunge
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. But again, I'm on Operation Colombian Booty.
Hey now, there you go.
So it's free exercise, it's built in, so I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying the realities of
It is
it.
thick. Yes.
I didn't know what that was gonna be like on the way back up. And I've been
Look
good.
through God's grace. All right.
Okay.
Do it.
Won't he do it? So I gathered you here to be with me
Oh,
because some things have been happening. I be doing this to you and I don't be telling you nothing. I just be
no,
like, we need to have a family
like
meeting. Can
get
you
up.
share with the people? First of all, for anybody who don't know who you are, can you tell the people who you are? And then share with the people how I be feeling to get roped into my shenanigans.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, hello. I'm Kalonda, Kim's co-host of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese, which is our podcast that we do together and talk about family dynamics and what we thought was normal that turned out to not be, and how that has shaped us and what we're doing to just better ourselves as a whole and all the people around us, right? I am her cousin. She lets me bounce things off of her, my rescuer, all those things. How I get roped into her shenanigans. Well, what she does is she says, "Hey, girl, I got some stuff I want to talk about. What time works for you? We gonna get on here and do some things." And I go, "All right." And then I don't know what we about to talk about. So I'm here. I'm here.
But sometimes you be knowing what we're gonna talk about. But today,
But most of the time for these, I don't. She just be like, "I got some stuff to talk about." Okay. Like, I got some things have been happening and I want to tell you, but I also want to tell the world at the same time. And this way I don't have to repeat none of it. And we can make this a thing.
yes. And like you're like the voice of the audience, right? Like the voice and the like actual animation of the audience
So
because
what
you
happens?
get a yeah, you get a genuine real life live reaction because you don't
Right.
know. Yeah.
No pressure. All right, here we go. Let me practice my shocked face. Girl, no. Tell me in the comments if I accurately displayed how you guys would feel with shock and awe.
Correct. Y'all gonna have to give her some
Pointers.
different actions. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that. Do this, right? And,
exactly.
and
Let me.
on emojis.
I'm gonna emote for you today.
There it is. Okay. So, I wanted to say, kind of give context before I get started telling you whatever. So, I had mentioned a moment ago about I said this family meeting, and then I mentioned our grandmother,
Right.
and I said this family meeting minus the red light. So one of the things that became somewhat normal, I don't know. I don't know if I ever thought it was normal. Did you ever think it was normal, or were you like,
I guess I just thought that's what people did. You listen, I don't want to give away what it is, but that you do it and then you have a red light, and that's what everybody does.
and that's how family meetings go.
That's Everybody has family meetings.
Okay,
Other
so when we were kids, um, when we Kalanda, your mic kind of seems like it's bouncing again. So see if you could adjust a little bit. Yeah, so what she said, get it together. That so when we were kids, our grandmother, so our grandmother has so our grandmother has passed. She passed in 2017.
Yeah.
Her name is Nanny, so I'm gonna just call her by her name. So Nanny had six kids, and the kids had kids
Had
for
us.
us.
Right.
So we are the two oldest grandchildren in our family.
Yeah.
So when we were kids, we spent a lot of time at our grandmother's house, holidays, birthdays,
Right.
the Father's Days, random
All this.
Sundays,
Yeah. It
days.
was it.
So we would have a cookout, or this how we learned to play spades.
Yes.
This is,
Yeah. Uno, everything. All
the Yahtzee. We had a Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. I didn't learn backgammon, but she
I
played.
don't.
But she
I remember it being, but I don't know.
But I never got that. But
yeah,
it happened around us.
Right. Yeah. So we learned how to cook. We learned all kinds of things, right? In our grandmother's kitchen.
Yes.
So at some point in time, towards the end of the night, it's time for the kids to go lay down so the grown folks could talk grown folks business, right? And so we would get dismissed and we would get put into the room. So in the room, we watch a Disney or, whatever. My mama worked for the cable company. So
she had the thing.
I grew up with cable at my house. My grandma had cable.
All the channels.
All of them. Okay. So the kids are in the room. We watching whatever on Disney, on TV, whatever we doing. We laying down, we flipping, we playing games, we doing all the things. Because there's zero supervision. Because the only reason that we're supposed to come out the room is if we got to go to the bathroom, or if for some reason somebody is thirsty
enough to breach the adult kitchen area, because basically the kitchen was closed. Okay, they
correct
the room and the kitchen was closed for us. Nah, they was probably making their drinks and stuff, but woe be unto you if you got thirsty.
Not happening, right? So we have to send the representative. So Beryl, it's funny, we weren't rich. It was a perk of the job. That's the only reason. That's what we were not. Shut your face. So anyway, so hold on, wait. I got different things playing in my ears. Okay. So I'm like, producer, relax. Where's my producer? Okay. So the kitchen closed, right? So what would happen is somebody might, get really, really thirsty, or somebody fell off the bed and broke something, Not a bone, right?
But something. Oh, I love Kids Incorporated. Kids Incorporated. KIDS. Whoa. Looks like we made it with Kids Incorporated.
No, I thought you. Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
So we was in there watching Disney, watching the things, doing the things. So the adults are in the kitchen and they're having a family meeting. So at the family meeting, everybody's gathered around the table. There's a red light that's on in the kitchen. So usually when we're out there, it's regular light, right? Just regular light. But during the family meeting, just the red light was on. And my grandmother would play these tapes of her talking. So I don't remember, I've been told different things that have been on tapes, but I don't remember listening to the tape and being like, ooh, she was talking about whatever, because we were actually more concerned with getting back to our freedom than we were with that business.
We didn't know. So we just knew it was going down, and we were out of Dodge. That was.
So the tone was very, very serious. It was business that we ain't had no business.
Wasn't none of our business.
Correct. So this concept of family meetings, in our family, were not necessarily something to look forward to.
Sometimes they got sprung on you. and it was felt more like an intervention. And then it was a round table instead of a family meeting. So then that, there were levels. There were levels to the meeting. So you may or may not have been a willing participant in said family meeting.
Correct. And then also, if somebody was on the tape and they didn't know they was on the tape, but now they're feeling some type of way, then there were further repercussions to happen. So I always got in trouble after the family meeting, not because I did anything, but because it was a tense time. So I didn't look forward to family meetings outside of the fact that I got to be with my cousins.
Right.
But that wasn't a good time because we didn't leave family meetings
We
happy at all.
gonna happen after.
Right. Now was who about to be mad and how long I'm gonna be punished, or like what Kalanda did. Kalanda, I used to get in trouble preemptively for things that you would do, like
Me.
stuff that I just need to get this off my chest right quick while
Oh,
everybody else is here.
please unburden. We are here for you. That is what the audience told me to say. I'm here for you, girl. Go for it.
Do you know I used to get my ass beat because
In
of
advance?
stuff you used to do in advance?
Ah,
Kalanta came home late from school. I got my ass beat. Kalanta was down the street with her friends. I got my ass beat. You better not think about
don't even
Kalanta.
think about it. Oh Lord, I'm sorry, boo. I was trying my best. I really was. I feel like the only time I ever came home late from school was when I was on the swim team at McMain, and we had practice, but then practice went long, and I would catch the bus home, and I had to take the Carrollton to the St. Bernard. Well, here's a little fun fact. After school hours, the Carrollton would drop down to one bus an hour. So I was
Mm.
bus stop waiting on a bus, which in New Orleans back then, excuse me, old men didn't care if you had a backpack. They'd drive up and
Bruh.
you need a ride? What's go? I'm like, please get away from me, sir. Like the fact that you're driving means you're at least 3 years older than me. At least. Just simple math. But the beard in the baby seat says that you're much older than that. Anyway, so then I finally get on the bus unscathed. Thank you, Jesus. I'm like trying to like hold tears at this bus stop. So I get on the bus. Then I get to the St. Bernard bus stop at the corner of what is that? Paris and Gentilly. Now, who shows up at this bus stop but Uncle Kyle? Our
Oh,
our youngest uncle. He's at
uh,
the bus stop and he's like,
uh.
"Girl, your mama is looking for you. She had us out here." Now, here's the funny thing. My mom's on here too. She used to say, "If you run away, I'm gonna let you run away. I'm not coming to look for you because you must have wanted to leave."
She's with the third party.
However, the truth came out when I was home late from school from this swim practice. She sent everybody out to look for me. It was like, go find my child. Then she promptly got me off the swim team and was like, that not happening ever
Cannot
again.
happen.
So yeah, my
Interesting.
bad. I didn't know you got in trouble for that too. But yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. So, thank you. But yeah, I'm still recovering clearly
I
from that.
apologize for my part in any trauma that caused you.
So, moving on. This is going somewhere, y'all. So, anyway, so we family meetings was not something that I ever looked forward to. And it wasn't until getting out into other worlds and other families and like hearing that family meetings are done different ways and like it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in trouble or that something bad has happened or like people actually just meet to make sure that the family is on the same page and like
Or plan their vacations. Like it's just a meeting. No,
it's just
different.
a meeting. So when I call family meetings, it is of the latter. It is, I just want to talk and I want to talk to people that I care about and people that I believe care about me. And I want to share something that I feel is important. I want to plan with you all. I want to build communities. So when I call a family meeting, it's not necessarily that something bad has happened. Something bad might have happened, but also something really great might have happened. So it's not something that should cause like this immediate, oh my God, is everything okay? Like, relax, relax. Because I will say, I'm the type of person, if everything is not okay, I'm going to say that up front because I don't believe in just being like, all
Right.
right, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all the world is burning down on Wednesday, and oh God, I don't like that. So I wouldn't do that. So, I wanted to set that context first before we get started, and to also, I know you know this because I've said this before on one of them recordings, but I wanted to reiterate that for the sake of anyone else who may be like, what is this family meeting thing about? Because I do feel like these might get called more frequently. So I'm gonna pause there, and you all right?
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. So, I've been going through it, right? Like you've been adjacent
Mhm.
to a lot of what has been happening. Definitely more so within the past few months or since we've started this, so since this year, but even throughout the past year,
Yeah.
much more aware and much more involved and adjacent to things that are happening in my life. So today is what, the 17th?
Mm-hmm. Of July.
Okay, 17th of July. So this time last year, I was actively in the middle of crashing and burning into a mental health crisis. And I didn't know it at the time. So there were things that were happening like earlier in the month. And I actually, what's so crazy is I was going to share these memories. And then I got COVID and I didn't have no voice. So I couldn't do the voiceover to share the memories. So
Oh,
I'm going to still share them though,
okay.
because
Yes.
the
Honor,
heck.
honor them.
Yes,
Yeah.
because last year I didn't get a chance to share them because everything was happening. So then I was like, it's fine, I'll just share it next year. And then this year I had COVID and I didn't have a voice. Like, so anyway, there's a storyline here. And if you have been following me, and y'all, I see y'all tuning in, say hi, just say hi in the comments and all of that. And if you have questions, feel free to put them into the comments. This is interactive,
Yeah.
like we're having a conversation, like,
Correct.
and you're a
All
part
of
of it.
all
So
of
we're
it.
inviting you, yeah, into the conversation. So a lot was going on, and last year I didn't know what was happening on this day last year.
Mhm.
um but on July 25th of last year was the day that everything just came crashing down to a screeching halt. So that has kind of been like lingering in the air. And I've kind of been processing, hey y'all, hey, see, y'all make me feel warm and fuzzy when y'all say hey. So that's kind of been lingering in the air for me. Knowing, this time is coming up and what is this gonna feel like? And over the past year, I've really been trying to process it all and heal and figure out how to I stopped saying put my life back together and I started saying redesign my life,
Okay.
because I don't believe the life that I had before this was mine. I think the life that I had before this was the life that I was told that I was supposed to have, even though I very much took
Right. Right. But
some rogue turns off the pathway, but still wasn't
you.
the core, yeah, of the type of life that I want to have for myself. So I've been going through this process of redesigning my life over the past year, and I've been thinking about when had I felt my best, like when all of this had happened. And it was actually right after it happened
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when I had nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. You
And I
know,
was like, what you say?
I said, I resonate with that. Like, yeah, that's because it's also a time where you feel like the most hopeful because you can see like there's a very clear line of before and after, and of
Hmm.
no does not work for you and that you won't tolerate or let in your life anymore. And when you get that, it's so much clearer on the other side, and you feel freer already because it's like I'm not going to have to deal with that. I'm not going to accept that in my life anymore. So yeah, after is a very clear time.
Hmm. That's interesting. Thank you for that added understanding. Um, so I have been thinking about what that looked like. And I was like, what? Because I've been working on executive functioning and I've been talking about this, y'all, on the different podcasts on So You Don't Put Syrup on Grilled Cheese with Kalanda, and then Heal That Shit with hey Dad. Heal That Shit with Bianca. So I've been talking about this process of figuring out what my routines are, like what I need to do in order to be able to function, what feels natural to me, what time does my body really want to wake up versus the time that I had to wake up because I had to go do something. And I've just kind of transitioned out of this place of having to do things. And I just don't want to have to do nothing. I don't. Like, it doesn't feel good in my body. I don't like how it feels. It gives me anxiety. If I have to do something, I'm paralyzed for the first part of the day because I have to make sure that it is too much stress for me.
Right.
So I had been thinking, and I was like, so back during that time, my like start the day routine and my shower routine and my night routine, like everything was so routine
Mm.
that I was just in this very, like you said, hopeful space. I had sent out the help calls and people were like helping and I could just be, right? So I was like, but those routines, I hadn't gotten them back on track
Mm.
yet. And I've been working, feverishly. Remember, I was like, yeah, when I switched the order of this, like I've really been in here architecturing
Right.
a routine and trying to design something that works for me with the most brain power I have ever used. I have never in my life spent this much time thinking about no routine. I
Right.
promise you I haven't. So just being the intentionality in it is even different because I'm very, very meticulous. And I know you relate to this because we've talked about this. Um, so I had said to myself, I was like, I started with my morning routine or the start the day routine. And I don't call it morning, y'all, because sometimes I don't start the day in the morning and I don't want to feel bad. So I
Right.
said, I'm going to call it the start the day routine because when I start the day, that's when it starts. I don't care if it's 6 p.m.
There you
And
go.
sometimes you got to start over.
There
Okay.
you Facts.
Because I've been going to sleep and being like, we will try this again in a little while. Because
Mhm.
right now,
Not it. It's not it. Not
so start the day is what I have been working on. So I've been being much more intentional about journaling.
mm-hmm.
So I was telling you before I have my Google Home, and at a certain time, it'll start my routine. I actually took that off because that also feels unnatural.
Oh,
But I have trigger words. So when I say good morning or when I say I'm ready to start my day, like Google will do certain things to
uh,
help me get my day started. And one of those things is take some time to journal. So I've actually been honoring that lately. So the other day, when was this? This was Saturday, this past Saturday.
mm,
Okay, I know what happened. So Saturday, July 13th. And I said, so these are the things that I log when I am journaling.
okay.
So I put the date, and then I put the day. So July 13th, 2024, Saturday, and then I put the time.
Okay.
So this was at 1:57 p.m. because, sometimes
Right.
in patterns and tracking and data and all of that.
No.
Then, so I put that at the top in the header. And then on the other side, I put my mood.
Okay.
So Saturday, I said grounding, releasing, waiting, asking, needing, and depending on God. That was
Mm.
my mood. Okay. So before I get into what I wrote, before this, so how do I? I'm trying to figure out the order because there's a lot in
Take your
my
time.
brain people.
Mhm.
So again, if y'all are new here, so my brain people are the people in my brain that control the operations. If you've seen Inside Out, sure, that is like the best way to explain it. But right now, they are all like trying to get attention. So everybody's trying to get to the front of the line and say this, say this. And I really need them all to just sit down for a second so I could focus. Thank
That-
y'all. Okay.
uh,
Sometimes you be having to just
yeah, you got to get them together. We're like, wait, y'all. take,
relax.
take a number.
Everybody's gonna get a turn. So
Right.
I had a lot of competing thoughts that were happening just now. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what happened just the day before this. So on Friday, July 12th, um, I have been waiting on, so I haven't been working, y'all, because of everything that's been happening, right? So I haven't worked for real, since July of last year. The last Beautiful Brown Girl show that I did, I think, was July 12th. And that was the last time outside of when Sab and I signed off for Brownversations. That was the last time y'all saw my face on that screen. Like everything just stopped. So I wasn't working, therefore money isn't coming in, right? So life has been living on grace, real for real, like Lord.
Right. Thanks. Look out for your girl.
Because I ain't got it. I don't have it. Okay. So every month has kind of been kind of stressful because I don't really know where money is coming from. I don't know what's happening. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot. So, and if y'all saw, I had to go to Panama and like all that, and that was a lot, and it was a lot. All of this kind of goes into this a lotness of it all.
Yeah.
So, Friday, I had made a call to one of the companies that holds one of my retirement accounts. And it wasn't a it's not a big account, but it's money. And I said, if I can just take this money out of here, then if I can just finance the next 3 months of my life,
Mhm.
so I can just be and allow, because I have all these ideas, I have all these things that I want to do, and I want to help people, and I want to do these things, but I can't if I am stressing incessantly about how I'm going to pay the rent.
Yeah.
So I was like, where do I have money? Like, where? Fine, just just
But-
empty.
yeah.
Right. So I talked to the people back in June and I was like, what's the procedure? What's the things? All the things. Because I live outside the country.
Right.
So these accounts were accounts from when I was a teacher in Florida. So I'm like, I'm not with the company, the school district anymore, whatever. But also they're like, oh, no problem. We'll mail you a check. Yes. Yeah, so no, because I don't live there anymore. So I need this all to be electronic. Long story short, I had called to check on the 12th when y'all gonna put the money in my account. They mailed me a check. So I had to undo all of that, right? But at this point, I'm in waiting. So Friday they were like, oh, well, we're gonna try to stop it and see what we could do and like call back on Monday and we'll see and we and all of that. So Saturday, Friday, I'm just aggravated.
Right.
Just I made a video and I was like, if it's not one goddamn, it's another motherfucker. I'm so sick of this shitless motherfucker. Like I just was like, I can't.
Right.
So Saturday, I clearly was having difficulty getting together that morning because I'm writing this at 1:57 p.m.
Right.
Right. So um somewhere in this, I had taken a shower. I don't know if it was before or after, whatever. But the reason I bring that up is because my shower is historically where God talks to me very, very clearly in the shower during certain times.
Mhm.
But sometimes we don't be talking. I don't necessarily notice it until we start talking again, or like stuff is crazy, crazy, and I'd be like, "Where you at, though?
Right.
Like, what is happening? Like, where are you?" Right.
Right.
So somewhere in this, I had taken a shower. So I think I had taken a shower before this, and then I had said that's what happened. And then I started my routine. I was like, okay, let me reset this day. So the first song that came on is the song "Ground Yourself" by Londrell.
Okay.
And I mentioned Londrell to you before, and I don't know if any of y'all watching have heard of Londrell, but he is a black I don't know what they call these folks,
I,
meditative artist. I don't know.
I don't. I mean, because they're singing, or like, I mean, they're artists. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know how we describe them. She said she would love him. Yeah, so Londrell is one of the go-to artists that evolved people. She said is what we call
Oh,
them.
all right.
Okay, cool. I roll with that. I like it.
All right.
Um, so Londrell Ground Yourself comes on. So he has this one of his albums is a chakra album. So it goes starts in your root chakra and then the different tones and frequencies and all the things all the way up. So Ground Yourself is on. It came on and I was like, I don't feel like doing this right now. And then I said to myself,
Oh.
fine. Okay. So I start writing and I said, I'm gonna read to you what I wrote. So I said, if it ain't one thing, it's another. I'm over it and literally just gave up. I'm like, God, what more do you want from me, bro? I'm doing what you're asking me to do. I'm being your hands and feet and leading with love.
Hmm.
And it's almost like so I'm saying other stuff too, but my brain think faster
Right.
than I can write, right? So it's like then I wrote God, colon, take your hands completely off. I need you to do what I told you to do. I need you to call who I told you to call. I need you to meet with who I told you to meet with. I need you to stabilize yourself and let me do me. You
Hmm.
want to create? Create. But you can't create and be trying to do the other stuff too. People keep asking you what you need, and you don't even have a list ready to say it. You're
Hmm.
not being honest because you're still trying to hold it together when I need you to let it all fall apart. I
Yeah.
got you, and I got this. This isn't last year. This is a new year, a new season. You are a new person. Be that, and the people will come who believe in you. But you have to be honest and you have to jump. I know you're scared. So I'm a pause.
Girl. I mean, when he speaks, he speaks. And it's that mirror that you have to look at yourself and go, "Oh, you got me. You're right. You did tell me to go sit down somewhere." And I did. I sat down somewhere, but then, it got a little long. And so I felt like I needed to put my hands back on it. And now I'm stressed out again. I'm on my way back. So, what got me here in the first place? So, what did you think?
So it was I need you to do what I told you to do for
Mm-hmm.
me. And it was so crazy because you and I have had this conversation,
Uh,
right?
yes.
And we love to talk about how, hello, pot, need kettle.
I can tell you what to do. I can tell you what the best thing for you would be? Knowing I need to be talking into a mirror and doing the exact same thing. Like, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. See, that's how that works. Not
So
that.
I had one of those moments because I was like, I just finished saying this to Kalanda. Like I just finished saying,
Yep.
be, just be, like you just need to be. And I was like, and I know that I need to be, but I'm not being because I'm trying to help. Because do you see that this rent is due? What is you
It's
doing?
here. I have to do something because I always say that to you. I'm like, it feels reckless for me to just stop
To
and
be
just
on the balcony just painting.
chill. I'm like, I hear you saying pray and leave it on the altar and just walk away from it because you have said what you've needed. You've prayed about it. He's going to do it. Go sit down. And it's like, but how though? Like, but how? So, how, Kim?
So, how, Kim?
How, Kim?
So, the next song that came on was a Heart and Mind song, and I don't remember like the name of it right now. I just wrote down Heart and Mind, but I'll have to go like find it or whatever. But the next song that came on, he was talking about silence.
Oh,
So you notice when I was reading, I cut off and I said, I know you're scared, and I didn't say it like period,
right.
right? Do you ever feel that when in total alignment, everything goes smoother? Absolutely. Absolutely. This about alignment is the way that I make decisions. That if things feel like they are in alignment, then I'm taking the step. Mhm. I'm taking the step, and we gonna see what else happens. So that alignment piece is really, really big for me. So I was writing and I was like, but this was God writing to me through me. So, but you have to be honest and you have to jump. I know you're scared. Then in the song that I was listening to, he kept saying silence. And he said, silence restores, silence liberates, silence frees. So I started thinking about this concept of silence because silence in my life has been weaponized. Um, there have been a lot of times that I have been told to be silent, and I there are also times that I have chosen silence because of safety, and I've just decided to hold my tongue until I got to a safe place. But I have always been team, I'm telling it all. I'm a snitch. I have zero problems with being called a snitch. I am a self-proclaimed snitch. If you don't want somebody to know, do not do it around me. I'm not taking no rap and no charge for nobody. I am a snitch. And I am even more so a snitch when it comes to the types of things that happen regarding our children. So, being in education, I have always been in hot water because I'm going to say something. Like, y'all not about to do these things. But that's just been the core of who I am. So, this concept of silence, when it was coming up, I was like, wait, what? Silence restores, silence liberates, silence frees. So then in the song, it said something like, let's take a moment to appreciate the silence or to hear what's said in the silence or something like that. So then I started writing down, I get brilliant ideas in silence. I hear God in silence. Silence calms me. Silence restores me. Silence connects me. And silence comforts me. So I wrote that down. And then I felt like I needed to, um, and I do kind of still feel like I need to reframe what. Did you hear me when I was talking, Kalanda?
I heard the end part of the silence that what it does for you. That so that
Okay.
was good that it came up.
Okay. So I was saying that like in my life, silence has been weaponized a lot.
Ah,
So I was kind of like struggling with this concept of silence, but then those positive things came to me about silence,
what
right?
happens when we create?
Correct. So I said to myself, I was like, I feel like I want to reshape what that looks like. And a part of one of the reasons why I have and will continue to always be very vocal about my own personal lived experiences
Mm,
is because of being silenced and because of being told to keep secrets or being ashamed of what my life was like and having to choose to keep a secret because I'm in fear for my life. So let me just be quiet. Like there was just so much time that I didn't say things.
mm,
And I promised myself that when I got to a place that I was able to use my voice and I was able to advocate and speak up, that I would do that. And
mm.
one of the reasons that I advocate so ferociously for children is because I remember what it was like to be sitting in that classroom silent and dying inside,
Right.
dreading going home. Like, can I just stay here, please?
Right.
Somebody see that I am in pain and I don't feel safe. Somebody,
Right.
nobody saw. So the silence has been a lot. But in the reframing of it, I feel like it's important to pause here to
Mhm.
kind of contextualize what life is like for me at this point in
Uh-huh.
regards to utilizing my voice. Um the concept, not just the concept of silence have I struggled with, but also the concept of family.
Right.
Because what I just said, that I had, for anybody who's new here, whatever, you can go to my blog, kimberlynjackson.com. You can read the blog post and kind of catch up on the drive-by that I'm about to do. But my childhood was traumatic. I grew up being abused physically, emotionally, psychologically, all the things. It was just a lot. So the concept of family never really showed up for me, and family never really saw what was happening. Yes, there are reasons that that happened, understand, get it, other people's trauma, all the things. We had a lot going on in our family, and all of us have a
Right.
story of being like,
Whew.
I don't even know how I'm still here. I don't even know how. So the concept of family has I had to choose to create what family looks like. And even we talked about Kids Incorporated in the Disney Channel. That's how I learned what I thought family was supposed to be,
Right.
because I was like, that's not, definitely not what these people are doing here. So it's okay. So this is what family means. Or I would go and I would visit a friend and like they would actually laugh with their family, or like genuinely, because I had to perform. I had to, like I've talked about this before, I didn't get to have feelings. I didn't get to be sad or mad, or I could only be happy. So like I was always on stage. That's why I can tell stories so well. And that's why I'm so animated. Like I had to do that for safety. So it was a lot. Like family is just very interesting. So in my redesigning of life, and if in my, as you said, clarity of what you feel you're gonna accept and what you're not gonna accept, I said to myself, I have to redefine this idea of family,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
that's not that
Right.
that what y'all put the name on and said that these people is not
No.
what I
Yeah.
need, want, or desire,
Right.
you know? Um, so I'm gonna get to y'all's questions in just a moment. So in that process of like redefining family, I also feel like it's really important to have agreements and understandings about who is being allowed to be in this concept of family or whatever that might be. So, one of the things that when I said this is a family meeting, and I'm happy that whoever is here is here. Again, if you haven't said hey, feel free to say hey. And if you don't and you just listening, that's cool too. But Bianca, my best friend, and y'all have seen her in this universe here. She has 3 keys that she lives by in her life, and they have kind of just become like, yes, girl, that's good. It is transparency, accountability, and integrity. And I have discovered I cannot deal with people who don't have integrity, people who do not hey, Auntie Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
People that don't have integrity, people that cannot be held accountable when they always you pointing the finger at everybody else. And no, but let's talk about what you did. You
Right.
Let's talk about that. Like that accountability piece. I can't deal with people that don't have accountability. And the transparency, the lying and the covering and I'm not doing it. So
Right.
that's why I be so like, this is what it is. And the other thing is I'm used to family holding my life and the things that they do and the things that they did to help me over my head. And what I said to myself is, I'm going to own my story. I am going to talk about my story. And that way, can't nobody come to me talking about, oh, I heard X, Y, and Z. You right. I made a video about it. It's over there on the YouTubes.
Right.
Go check it out.
Thank you for the
So
views.
that's right. You know, and like and subscribe while you're over there. By the way, if you're watching, go ahead on and like and subscribe. I appreciate you.
There you go.
And share. Okay.
Hey now.
So that's why I like am this person where hey stuff where I am so vocal about my life, and I am so because this is my lived experience and I have a right to share my lived experience, right?
Right.
So I wanted to kind of give that context, and I also want to say this: my silence cannot be bought. And I'm not right now just talking about family. I'm talking about people. Anybody that don't want me to say something about something, I'm not
hating for you.
I'm
still hating for you.
I'm saying it. And I'm showing the receipts for it because I want people to be able to see. Because I don't talk on things that I don't have receipts for. I want y'all to know that. If y'all don't know nothing about me, if I ain't got no evidence, data, and documentation, I ain't saying nothing. Or I'm gonna make it very clear, opinion here.
Correct. Correct.
So I want to I want that to be said because there are many people that want me to be quiet and I'm just not.
She's like, that's just not me. That's just not
I'm just not. So I want that to be known. Then the last thing is I'm granting access because I care about people and I want to help people and I want to take as many people to wherever your destiny and your purpose is supposed to be leading you. I do believe that that is my purpose, is to help other people realize their purpose and build this deep relationship with God so that you are able to go and be amazing. But having said that, just because you have access, don't act like access cannot be taken because I will block you in a hot second. I need you to understand and hear me real clear. I had to check one of our relatives because they called me a little girl. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Not the glasses.
What I am not is that little silent child anymore. Right. And I'm, again, talking to anybody. If the shoe fit, put it on and run around the block.
Take a lap.
That silent little girl, she's gone. I am saying the things. And if you feel some type of way, then you're going to feel some type of way. Because if you wanted me to talk better about you, then you should have treated me better when you had the chance. Or you need to be trying to repair the harm that you caused. And if you can't come to me with those 3 things, transparency, integrity, and accountability, I'm not listening at all. Don't come to me with no excuses. Don't come to me talking about, oh, well, I know. No, acknowledge the harm that was caused. Then I may be willing to have a conversation, but also I need you to know that does not mean reconciliation either.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So thank y'all for that
Yeah,
commercial.
there you
Okay.
go.
Just
Can I
had to do that.
just a
Of
half
course
a
you
she said well no,
feel
because
free. Come.
I also think that one of the things that you said about like building the family that you needed around you. Yes, and Bianca is an awesome example because what she also displays is consistency. And
Mhm.
that was something that was lacking.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yeah.
having to live your life based on the whims of
Mm.
people that were around you is why a lot of times you become very in tune to people's emotions and feelings and what's going on because that was a key to your
To
safety.
staying safe. Yeah.
Right. So then when you're
Mhm.
now surrounded by people that have said, this is how I'm going to interact with you, this is what you can expect of me, and then they lived true to that, it
Yeah.
really starts to kind of rebuild your faith
Mm.
in people because
Mm.
before you were always essentially taught that you didn't know anybody could do anything at any given time
Absolutely.
and you just had to adapt so that you weren't in harm's way.
Yeah.
But then when people start it's the
Wait. Hold on.
experience.
When people start, what you voice that went away a second. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think a phone call came in. When people start like saying like that's not always the experience. You don't have to live your life like that. And then you start showing up expecting more out of people because again you were taught not to expect things because people
Mhm.
fail you. And that's a really hard way to move through life because it just continues to set you up for that silence and those silos because you're just like, I got to do it by myself because who's going to do it? Who's going to help me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's also unfair to the friends in your life because they want to be there for you and they see how you show up for them and they want nothing more than to give that to you. And you're like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
carry this whole elephant on my back.
All of it.
Don't worry about it. You know,
All of
so
it.
friends out there, please know that y'all are also healing these wounds by just being who you are. But that consistency does matter in platonic and romantic relationships and definitely in familial ones. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up especially the consistency piece because that
That's
definitely
good, cousin. Yeah, that's real good. So let me go back to we had a couple questions. One was, do you feel as if your
Mhm.
power of control is diminished when silent? I think there are times where silence may be chosen. Like I said, there are times I still sometimes choose silence. There's still some things that I have not spoken on. Um, that I may or may not speak on those things. But what I feel is when we are silenced because we're being silent because there is some type of feared consequence,
Yeah.
that is when our power and control is diminished. That's what I think. What you think?
Hmm. No, definitely. Because I think a lot of the silence was, or what I saw more for the silence was that it was weaponized, that like love
Yes.
was withheld. And
Yes.
you're going to get the silent treatment. Not even so much, it was almost like not that I didn't care, but that because the safety was the number one goal,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
if me being silent kept me safe, I was fine with that.
Mm.
What hurt me was the withholding of love, affection, attention because they were upset about something. Like
Mm-hmm.
that part of the silent is what stuck out for me.
Absolutely. Same.
Because if being
Same.
quiet kept me safe, I was gonna be quiet. Like that
Yeah.
was that was because yeah, the alternative was
Because
not fun.
you had your own neighborhood to go to anyway.
Right.
So yeah, they don't know y'all to go have to go back and watch so you don't put syrup on your grilled
Girl,
cheese
not I had
to
my
know about
neighborhood. I
Kalanda's
had my
neighborhood.
whole thing of like I was living in a simulation and one day I was gonna wake up and my real life was gonna be there. Child, you know, you got all the coping mechanisms.
Facts.
We got through.
Facts. So then another question was, are you healed now? From this part of things, this is not like I don't know how I'm talking, like how it's coming across to y'all, But there have been times in my life where I have been in absolute tears behind all of this stuff that I'm talking about. But what I want to say about healing is a process, right? Because you might think that you're good, and then something else happens, and you remember, what did I just remember a moment ago? It wasn't Kids Incorporated. I don't know. I think it had to do with the apartment because where Nanny lived is where I lived as
Right.
well. So I have double memories in
Yes,
that
of this
place.
one space. Yeah.
And it was a lot. It was a lot. But healing is a process. And what you all can know from me, I'm not gonna speak on anything that I'm not ready to talk about.
Mm,
Ain't nobody gonna make me talk about nothing I don't want to talk about. I'm gonna just be like, I ain't ready to talk about that right now.
right.
Now it's a whole lot of stuff that I am ready to talk about. We could talk about all them things, baby, because I can talk. Okay. But as far as the healing, I'm giving myself grace in the
Yeah.
healing process. I am a known healing rusher. So
Oh,
I'm somebody I'd be like, listen, time on task. We got things to do,
yeah.
people to see, places to go.
Life is
And
still
that's
happening.
why
I can't do
God,
that right now.
that's why God said, sit your ass
Sit
down.
your ass
So
down.
let me get to the plan. Let me get to the plan. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. So one of the things, so we mentioned this concept of family
Mhm.
and what building family, and I haven't even told you this part really. Building family and designing like-minded experiences and safety, if you will. The other thing that we have been thinking about and talking about is, what is we doing in this? What we gonna be when we grow up, girl? What is we finna be?
Facts. I gave you a list of like 6 things. Well, I gave you a list of 5 things. And then I actually just added another one that I haven't even told you about yet. But I feel really excited about it. So
You like it, I love it. You know, I am your biggest cheerleader. Okay? I don't think you've ever called me and been like, I got an idea. And I've been like, not Kalanda. I'll be
ain't
like,
no
okay,
way.
well, what we need to do?
Like
When
what you need. Okay,
you
well
need
let's
me there? Who I got to call?
how far you got? You know what I got? I know a guy. I know a guy. I'm gonna put y'all in contact.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, to that and the knowing and the things, and what God was saying to me is this part about not being honest and being
Mm,
like you trying to like act like you got everything and you don't. This
mm,
is the thing, y'all. I'm really amazing at what I do. Okay. I am a phenomenal life coach. I am a wonderful educator and public
mhm.
speaker and designing curriculums and even doing podcasts. Okay. What I know how to do, baby, I know how to do it. And what I don't know how to do, I do not know how to do it. So I started making a list of different things that I need. And as I was making this list, I wrote on the side, I said, this is how we build a team. So, what I know is those of y'all that are watching, and you, Kalanda, who is listening here, we all have skills. We all have not just skills like I did this because I went to school for this, but skills like God put these things inside of
Right.
me, gifts and talents. And
Talents. Yeah,
I
innate
was
talent.
uniquely designed in this way. Like even
Right.
as on our last episode, we were talking about the way that we both were rebellious.
Right.
Like that was by design. You know, like there everything about us, God took time and was like, I want the eyes to kind of be right
Right.
there. I want them to have that hairline, baby. You know,
You know
they
what I'm
got to be
saying? Full and flourishing. Do it.
oh, baby, give them babies some help. Oh, God designed all of those things. And I feel like a lot of us spend a lot of time working outside of our giftings
Mhm.
because we are told that that's what we have to do in order to make money, or we're told, um, you, this is where the money is. You know, I
Right.
think it a lot of times goes to money unless it's some type of family pressure or something or whatever, but even that often goes to money.
So the
And I get it, and I know, and I've been saying this to my psychologist because this is what my psychologist been telling me. And I know she's gonna watch this. And girl, I don't want to hear it. Okay. I don't. She's been like, Kim, I need you to put all of your energy into you. And if you want to create, go create. If you want, go do that. And I'm like, how's the bills getting paid, girl? She's like, listen, I need you to do, and I have not been listening, but now
Right.
I'm listening. So what I did is I made this list of all of these things that I need. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to list some of them off. What I
Okay.
want y'all to do, if you are watching, I want you to, if one of these triggers something in your brain and you're like, girl, I do that, I want you to put like what that is with your name in the comments. If you're watching this in the replay, same. And the reason is because I feel like we have a network here that we don't. You frozen, girl? Or am I frozen? Am I froze, y'all? Is Kalanda froze? Y'all tell me. Um, I believe that we have a network here of people that we have these skills. And if we would pull together and operate in our giftings, then we could probably move ourselves along much farther and much further and much quicker because we are, thank you, because we are operating in things that don't feel like work. So for instance, for me, I mentioned I write curriculum, right? Helping somebody plan a curriculum and think through curriculum and all of that, I kind of do that in my sleep. Like it comes to me. You might be somebody that was like, dang, I wish I could write a curriculum about, I don't know, you might be a travel agent, about how to be a travel agent and how to use travel as the way to make people reconnect with their life. Or maybe you want to be a travel agent for people who are trying to leave the United States because everything is crazy. So you want to develop some type of program. That's what I do. That's what I do, right? But then in turn, I might need your services to be like, hey, with well, there you go. You say I actually am a travel agent, right? So then I might need to be like, hey, so I need your services, right? So bartering and using our services together, as opposed to trying to do all this. Or like, let's say you're a social media guru, right? Now I'm gonna tell you about me and social media. I'm gonna put some things out there, all right, but it ain't really. Listen, it's up. All right, now the aesthetics ain't necessarily what the aesthetics is needing to be, and all of. Listen, now I could turn this mic on and I could talk about some things, okay? But social media might be your thing. You live and breathe that. You like, girl, I could throw you a reel together real quick. Well, guess what? I need you, and guess what? Also, maybe you want to be a life coach. Well, guess what? I certify life coaches. So I'm gonna read off some of these things, and I want you to, in the comments, if you're watching the replay, to put what your skill sets are, and I'm gonna list off what the things that I need. I need somebody who's good at administration. I don't want to answer no emails. I don't want to do nothing with no emails. I don't want to schedule things on calendars. I don't want to do none of it. So somebody who is really good at administration. Also, separate from that or with that is a virtual assistant. So doing like because I'm about to like start some podcasts back. So I'm going to have guests. So I want somebody to be able to communicate with all of that, but then also making sure that the things that I need to get done are actually getting done. I need an editor. I can create like crazy, but when it comes to putting the things together, it takes so much time for me. An editor, someone who is a financial coach. Shambles, y'all. I'ma just say I didn't know credit scores could get this low. I really didn't. And I'm saying this all with a smile because I believe that there's going to be a testimony on the other side of this. But baby, I just stay out of there because I don't even want to see it right now. It is so low. Shambles. Okay. So I need some type of financial advisor, financial coach, a book coach, because I believe that I'm to write a book, and I actually know two more people in my family that want to write books. So I need that. I need where did I leave off? A graphic designer. Okay, somebody who I got you in love. Somebody who can design flyers or logos or things like that. A social media manager. I really don't want to be on there. I promise you I don't. I really don't. So I will hand it here. Okay. Social media manager and branding manager. A
What is
podcast.
happening?
What you think?
Don't listen to me.
Oh, sorry. A podcast producer, I am looking for. So someone who does what I do, but again, I just want to show up and talk. I don't want to have to be like, oh shoot, I need to grab a comment and like podcast producer. I'm also looking for people who are really good at gardening and herbs because I'm transitioning my life and becoming a lot more plant-based and holistic. So I'm looking to learn about those things as well. I'm also interested in energy healing. So anyone who like breath work and all of that, if that's somewhere that you live well with. Then I also have curriculum designers. So I have these ideas to be able to Mary girl, I'm about to have all of your she like my kids edit. My kids do logos and flyers. Listen, okay, so I'm about to get to what this is gonna look like. Video editing, yes. Okay, I need these things. Okay, curriculum design. So I know how to coach people into it, but then I need people to do it, right? I don't necessarily have the time to sit down and like map it out. So like for instance, I can design a curriculum, I could do an outline, all of that, but somebody to put it together in Canva, right? And like make the page look pretty and all that. I want to be able to outsource that. A tax person, because let me tell you something about being out the country and taxes and having a business. Shambles. I'm glad that I at least get them paid and they not after me, but child, shambles. Need help. And then the last thing I have is a podcast moderator. So that might be basically I'm looking for people who want to get into the podcasting world and also want to know how to produce behind the scenes because there are some microphones that I need to hand off because this is tied. Okay. Let me tell y'all what, let me not tell you that. I'm going to tell you that in a second, what I really want to be doing. So this is how this works. So I was going to do Discover Your Destiny and Intuitive Melanated Life Coach Certification are my core programs, if you will. Discover Your Destiny is a course that you take where you learn about your spiritual gifts, the uses and misuses of your spiritual gifts. You learn about goal setting, like how you want to make an impact on the world and what does it look like to be able to bring that into fruition. We also talk about forgiveness and acknowledgement of the things that have been a part of our life that maybe we no longer want to own and releasing those things. And then we also talk about boundaries and self-care. So Discover Your Destiny is my anchor course. It was the first course that I ever created, and it's a 10-week course. Discover Your Destiny is the first step before becoming a certified life coach. I'm not certifying any life coaches this year, but I am going to do a Discover Your Destiny class for people who want to be life coaches or people who just want to walk closer in their purpose. I was going to do that. I was going to start that on Sunday, but I got COVID and I didn't have a voice. So I had to put it on pause. My plan is to implement it in this new way. So usually the course is $8.99 for the 10 weeks, but what I am thinking is doing like a barter program or an internship type program. So what that would look like with the barter program is, let's say you want to do Discover Your Destiny, and then you say, girl, I could design you a website and all the bells and whistles, and boom, that's like an equal trade. Or you might say, well, I can design some graphics for you, but it's not going to, come up to that amount. So then I'll just reduce the price. So we'll like work out what that looks like. Why am I doing this? One, because I believe in building community. And I think that it's really important for us to use our gifts. I already said that. But two, I feel like there are people who are sitting in positions that were like, if I just had the money to get this done, then it would take me to my next level. And I feel like it's silly for us to be like, if I just had the money, when we have a gift that we could offer that would offset that. The third reason is because sis is tired. Okay, so I am trying to duplicate myself and build a coalition of people that can help me to do this healing work and this transformational work. So it's not just all falling on me because there's only one me. Okay, and me is tired. Me wants to paint. I want to grow in the garden. I want to take a step back for a moment so I can really help people, like push people, but I don't want to always be the one having to do, if that makes sense. So I am trying to shift all of that kind of at the same time because in this redesigning of my life, um I cannot burn the candle at both ends. I cannot. I will not ever allow myself to do that again. So it's important that I honor my capacity and I honor my energy. But I also know that people are needing me and people are waiting on me to get to where y'all need to go. Like there are literally people in my inbox be like, you ready yet? What you doing? And I'd be like, yeah, girl, almost kind of trying to get there. So I'm coming out to do this and I'm trying to get as many people as I possibly can because I don't know how many more times I'm finna do this. Okay. So that is the plan. And I'm wondering what questions you have. I'm going to go back and look through these comments because I saw a lot of things that were piquing my interest here. So virtual administration, my kids edit, great logos and flyers, Reiki certified, awesome. Okay. Um, Anybody else who is watching, if you will also please contribute what your skill sets. Let me put a banner up here so that I can put this on the screen. What are your skill sets, gifts that you would be willing to gifts that you would be willing to barter? So like the other day I was on where was I on? I think I was on Threads of all places. And Threads, like a lot of people don't necessarily be over there, but I like Threads more because it is like less toxic than Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days. But I was over there on Threads and somebody that I know and follow was like, she started on TikTok. She was like, I started on TikTok and I'm blowing up and social media is my passion. And I messaged her and I was like, we need to talk because girl, I am over this social media. So she messaged me and she was like, ma'am, social media, you a life coach, let's barter. Like it can be that simple. So I don't want this to just be for me. I want us to also be looking at what other people do down here in these comments so we can reach out to folks. So again, if you have not put your skill sets, your gifts into the comments, please do, because this is an opportunity for you to be able to get some things done that you haven't been able to get done because it was a bottleneck. Any questions? If you have questions, go ahead and drop them or thoughts. If you're like saying, girl, this is stupid, like save that. I don't want to hear that. But any questions, comments, things that you might want to know, any ideas that you might want to contribute to what this might look like. If you know that you want to be a life coach, or maybe you want to know more about what life coaching means, I just want to very briefly say that being a life coach is very, very niched. So I carved out my niche because of life experience. So I used to call myself a success and purpose coach, and I called myself a purpose coach for a while. I always knew that it had to do with operating in purpose and destiny and all of that. But I just recently felt very strongly about intuitive melanated life coach because that intuition piece is really big for me. And it's what has allowed me to enter this phase of life and to really have more understanding and awakening about what I'm supposed to be doing and what that looks like. So your niche is going to come through your skill set, and that's another thing that I do is helping people figure out that niche. But just being a life coach, I don't mean to say it like that. Let me rephrase because I don't like just being a life coach and operating as a life coach is somebody that always finds themselves in a position of understanding and empathizing with others in being able to provide wisdom and guidance based on your own life experience. A life coach does not mean that your life is all together and that things are going to stop happening. Being a life coach means that you are able to help people along the way, right? So I'll say things like, I'm not an expert, but I know what I've been through. So I can tell you, hey, if you do that, if you touch that hot stove, you're going to get burned, right? I wouldn't do that. There are so many lessons that I've learned along the way that if I can save somebody from having those lessons, then don't do that. That doesn't work. Don't go over there. Ain't no good over there. Like, or come this way. This is where everything is green. Come over here. Like, that's your job as a life coach. It's not therapy. You're not a therapist. And there are many times that I tell people that they need to go to therapy before they come to me. So, if you have more questions about that, you can feel free to slide in my inbox or email me. So, I don't see any questions. I appreciate y'all. I know some of y'all are just listening, driving, and all of that, so no problem. If questions come up later on, again, please feel free to put them into the comments. Or you can email me at mindingmyblackassbusiness@gmail.com. So I'll put that onto the screen. You can also go into my DMs if you want on Instagram, Minding My Black Ass Business, or here in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook. And let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what skill sets that you want to bring. If you have questions, put them so that I can answer them. But I wanted to do this because this has been sitting on my spirit for a really long time. And this is a very small piece of it. It's a whole lot more. But this is the first piece because I do feel like there are many of us who are trying to find a moment of peace and rest and ease and a softer life where we don't have to be hustling and bustling the whole time. And I feel like if we work together, that we will be able to accomplish that. So if you are just getting here, I appreciate you. Watch the replay. The last thing I'm gonna say, Minding My Black Ass Business on all platforms. Please make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube page because eventually I'm gonna stop streaming on Facebook. Facebook is doing a lot, and I just it's a lot. Facebook is doing a lot. So I'm focusing on monetizing my YouTube page and just being over on my YouTube page as opposed to being here on Facebook. So please make sure that you've connected with me over on my YouTube page at Minding My Black Ass Business, that you have subscribed. If you see a video, just like it. I don't just like it. Just play the things in the background. All of that. We on the way. So we are on the way to 1,000 subscribers. We just hit 500 subscribers last week, and now I think we have 535 subscribers. So thank you to all of you that have subscribed. Please do if you haven't. And please share this with somebody else that you feel like maybe you've heard them saying they're so overwhelmed and I just need help. This might be a way for them to get some help. So please do share. And any comments, questions, all the things. Again, Minding My Black Ass Business on all the platforms. Ooh, y'all, I'm tired. And thank you to my cousin Kalanda for hanging out with me and being the live reaction. She does that so well. We have a podcast called So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. It comes on every other Sunday. You can find the playlist on the channel. And then I also have a podcast called Heal That Shit every other Wednesday with Bianca, my best friend. So that's kind of the universe that we have created right now. And we're also looking to expand that. So if you're saying to yourself, I've always wanted a podcast, and I feel like I have some things that I want to turn on the mic and talk about, that's something else that we should probably discuss. All right. So I'm going to go eat. I'm going to drink some water. I'm back, y'all. I'm not going to promise every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, but I do promise that I'm going to be turning the mic on more often. Lastly, if you are looking for exclusive content, you like, girl, I want to know the tea in the business, because me, my cousin Kalanda, and Bianca, we about to start another podcast, and we're gonna call it Me and My Boo. We're gonna be talking about women's health and vaginal health and all the things that people should have told us and they didn't ever tell us, and we finding out the hard way. So we trying to help the people that's behind us. Okay. So those kind of things are going to be living over on Patreon. So if you want to be exclusive, there are already vlogs and all that kind of stuff over there. It's only $5 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/minding my black ass business. All right. I'm tired of talking, y'all. Okay, I'm about to go. I love y'all so much. Appreciate you. Thank y'all. Bye.